everybody. Good morning and welcome to the WOLFGUARD Zone. Here we want to help educate business owners on what they should expect of their existing IT and technology. And our topic today is backups. We're going to cover the difference between backup types and which one is right for you. Specifically, your organization. Every organization has different needs or requirements for uptime, and so backups are definitely a part of that. And I keep seeing as we take over IT for new customers or companies we do IT for, that they may have existing backups, but a lot of the times it's not what they expected, or the backups are not doing something they want to do or thought they were. And so, first type of backup I'm going to talk about is called file or folder backup. We typically just call this type of backup just backup, cloud backup, file backup, server backup, you might even say. But what that is, first of all, is it's backup software that is copying or backing up to the cloud only the files and folders like Word documents, PDF documents, Excel documents, all that kind of stuff from wherever they're stored. So if you have a server, for example, then it's just the files that you work in day to day on the server. Now, where the backup does a great job is that if you accidentally delete a file, you can restore it back from the cloud. Or if, say, your whole server goes down, your files are safe. They're in the cloud. You can restore them back down. But what they don't do is if your server hardware fails and that server goes down, you have a copy of those backups, but you got to restore them somewhere to another server, to another computer. And that's where a lot of people don't realize that if your server, say hard drive fails, for example, you got to order another hard drive. And in the meantime, you can't access your data. It's safe, it's up in the cloud, but you can't access it. And so you have to, your IT person has to buy a new hard drive, get it shipped to you. They get it installed, and then also they have to reinstall Windows Server, reinstall applications, get all the user accounts possibly all set up, create your folder structure, get those network drives all set up again, and you're down, through all this. And so once the server is reset back up, then you can take your files from the cloud and restore them back down to the server and then start using them again. So this is the main thing to think about when you're thinking about what type of backup you need. How long can your organization be down for? For some companies, they can easily be down for a day or even maybe a week without needing access to those files. They can do plenty of other things. It's not detrimental to their company. Some companies being down for an hour or two could be hundreds of thousands of dollars that they are losing for just production being stopped, halted, whatever. It just depends on every company. But if that is the case where you cannot be down, that is when you need backup disaster recovery. And that's a little bit different than just a regular file backup. So think of it this way: backup disaster recovery. It is a different type of backup, and it can vary a little bit, but like ours has a secondary appliance, piece of equipment that sits in your office, and it's going to take clone snapshots of your whole entire server, applications, user accounts, the files, the folders, the operating system, everything. So that if your primary server had a hard drive failure and goes completely down within about 30 minutes, we can turn this appliance on that has copies or clone copies of your server. And so what it looks like to your staff or end users is that the server just went offline for about 30 minutes or an hour, and then it just comes back up again. Everything is there, working, operational, and you work off of this appliance. And in the meantime, your IT person is ordering the hard drive, um, getting it to arrive, installing it, and when it's all ready, then you can take that clone copy of your server and take it from that appliance and move it back to your primary server. And again, it just looks like you can schedule that, but it looks like that the server went offline and came back up again. And then you're fully working back off of your primary server. What backup disaster recovery also provides is um, if something happened to your whole building. Say we had one client where lightning struck the building. If that happens and it happens to destroy or mess up your server, cause issues, then you can actually fail over to your backup disaster recovery in the cloud. There's a cloud server, and so you can have your staff connect up to the cloud and to the server that has your files and be working on it there. And then again, as you find some other solution, different office, buy a different server, whatever, you can take that clone copy and download it back to your primary server. So through all of this that I've talked about, the main thing to ask yourself is how long can your organization be down for? That's really the primary factor for determining which solution is best fit for your specific organization or company. And depending on that answer, go talk to your techs about that. Your existing internal IT or whoever you're outsourcing your IT for, tell them how long you can be down for and ask them if your existing backups fit that need. If not, they can change it. But every IT company should have that conversation with you, but most don't. Most think it's doing one thing when it's actually not doing what they need it to do. So it's a good conversation starter, to have with your IT, and don't want you to be without the backup you were expecting when you need to rely on it most. Another thing I'll quickly say is we have a ebook that we put together ourselves. It's 11 items with security that we continually or commonly find when we take over new companies' IT that their previous IT company was just not doing correctly. These are pretty big items that we commonly find are not set up correctly. And again, this can just be a conversation starter that you can have with your IT just to go through and make sure these items are being done correctly. And if not, you can get them fixed. But that is all I had today. Just want to make sure you guys are getting the backups that you need. Thanks. Take care.